Great careers, a beautiful home, and a baby boy on the way. Scott and Laci Peterson had what seemed to be a life together woven in magic. But what happens when that magic begins to fade?
My daughter's been missing since this morning. She's 8 months pregnant. She took her dog for a walk in the park. The dog came home with just a leash shot.
Morro Bay, California, 1995. Scott Peterson is working as a waiter at the Pacific Cafe. There he meets and connects with 20-year-old Laci Denise Roca. Shortly after meeting, Laci would give Scott her phone number, and immediately, Laci called her mom to let her know that she met the man she was going to marry. Scott and Laci date for a period of 2 years, and on August 9, 1997, Laci fulfills her promise that she made to her mother by becoming Mrs. Peterson. After getting married, the couple opened up a sports bar which they named The Shack. The Shack stayed in business until April of 2001, when it was sold so the Petersons could afford to buy their dream house in Modesto, California. Later that year, Laci takes a job as a substitute teacher, while Scott becomes employed as a fertilizer salesman for Trade Corp USA. Just when things were looking like they could not be getting any better for the Petersons, in May of 2002, Laci and Scott find out that they are expecting their first child, a healthy baby boy named Connor, who would be arriving into the world on February 10, 2003. Everything was truly perfect for the Petersons. On December 23, 2002, Scott and Laci visit Laci's sister Amy at her hair salon so Scott could receive his monthly haircut. At the salon, Scott told Amy that he would pick up a fruit basket that Amy had ordered for her grandfather, as he would be at a nearby golf course that day. At 8:30 that evening, Laci talks with her mother on the telephone. This would be the last time anybody besides Scott would speak to Laci. On December 24, 2002, Scott had attempted to call Laci several times, but received no answer. When Scott got home, Laci was nowhere to be found, though her car and her purse were at the residence, along with their dog, who still had a leash around his neck. Scott felt as though there might be a logical explanation, but eventually decides to call Laci's parents later that evening. Apparently more concerned than Scott, Laci Peterson's stepfather, Ron Gransky, calls the police.
How can I help you?
Yes, my son-in-law called. He was playing golf this morning at 9:30. My daughter's been missing since this morning. She's 8 months pregnant. She took her dog for a walk in the park. The dog came home with just a leash shot.
And the dog came back without your daughter?
Right.
What is your name?
When police arrive at the Peterson home later that evening, they found that all of Laci's belongings were still inside the house, along with flatware set on the table to prepare for dinner, an open phone book on the counter with an ad for a defense lawyer, along with an unusually calm Scott Peterson, who told police that he was out golfing earlier that day, but later stated that he went fishing in the Berkeley Marina near San Francisco. Throughout the investigation, the police felt that Scott's lack of concern for his missing wife was odd. Feeling that Scott might have something to hide, they decided to place a tracking device in his car in hopes he would lead them to some sort of clue, though this wields no results. Search teams are immediately set up to comb the surrounding areas for Laci. Over 900 people joined the search, and a reward for $25,000 for her safe return was eventually raised to $500,000 as time went on. This sparked massive media attention, as a very important piece of the puzzle was about to come forward and throw a new twist into the investigation. Amber Fry comes forward to notify police that she had unknowingly been having an affair with Scott Peterson for the past several months. According to Fry, Scott claimed that he was a widower and that this upcoming holiday would be his first Christmas without his wife. After hearing this astounding turn of events, investigators requested Amber Fry to secretly record her conversations with Scott for possible leads and incriminating evidence. During a candlelight vigil for Laci and Connor, Scott called Amber, claiming that he was in Paris, unknowing that the entire conversation was being recorded.
Hello?
Baby?
Yes.
Amber?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah, hey.
Oh my goodness. How was your New Year's?
What's that?
How was your New Year's?
It's good. I'm just, everyone's in the bar now, so I came out of the alley. Quiet alley. Is that nice?
Yeah, it is. I can hear you. Very good.
It's pretty awesome. Fireworks and everything for the Eiffel Tower. Some people all playing American rock songs.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty funny.
Shortly after this conversation, Amber Fry tells her story to the world around her.
Scott told me he was not married. We did have a romantic relationship.
After Amber goes public with her affair, everybody who had been, up till then, supporting Scott began instead to point their finger, including Laci's parents. Despite being adamant about not having his face shown to the media, Scott goes on TV in hopes to clear his good name.
Did you murder your wife?
No, I did not. And I had absolutely nothing to do with her disappearance. And use the word murder, and yeah, I mean, that is a possibility. It's not one we're ready to accept, and it creeps in my mind late at night and early in the morning.
On April 13, 2003, a couple walking their dog found something odd in a rocky area in the San Francisco Bay, which was later identified as a small baby. Just days later, another gruesome discovery is made, that of a young woman who is presumed to be the baby's mother. After 5 months of searching, DNA tests confirmed that Laci and baby Connor were found. On April 18, 2003, Scott was arrested near a golf course in La Jolla, California, as he was attempting to flee to Mexico. At the time of his arrest, Scott had dyed his hair and was carrying $15,000 in cash, 4 cell phones, camping gear, and his brother's driver's license. On April 21, 2003, Scott Peterson was arraigned before Judge Nancy Ashley, where he was charged for the murder of Laci and baby Connor. He pled not guilty and was held without bail. On June 1, 2004, the murder trial of Scott Peterson begins. His defense team would claim that Laci was taken by somebody else and demonstrated that there was no physical evidence to prove otherwise. The prosecution countered that a single hair belonging to Laci was found on a pair of pliers discovered on Scott's boat. They also argued that the motive behind Laci's murder was Scott's insatiable affair with Amber Fry, along with financial issues inside the Peterson home. On November 12, 2004, the jury reaches their verdict. On March 16, 2005, Scott Peterson was sentenced to death by lethal injection. This sentence was eventually overturned by the state Supreme Court on August 24, 2020. He is scheduled to be resentenced on August 8, 2021. Magic does not always equal happiness. Sometimes the secrets kept from the public's eye could lead to a travesty, a disappearance, and sometimes the secrets could lead to the deadly truth.